You guys saw the title of this video, how to keep your ads working forever. This is the 7-figure lead generation strategy that we use here at Celebrity Maid to scale our clients' advertising campaigns. And you guys are about to get a really awesome training. So just to start off this training with some bulletproof ad results. So these are some of our clients that we're currently working with. We have Angela over here. Since working together, we've increased her revenue by about 30% to the point where now she's surpassing over 50K in monthly recurring revenue. We have Gregorio over here who's surpassed 41K in monthly recurring revenue. And Olga, perhaps my favorite case study, converted 193 new clients in the span of 60 days. And this was all thanks to the advertising strategy that I'm about to share with you guys. So this stuff works. Nobody else in the space is really talking about this strategy. So I do think it's going to be a treat for you guys. This really poses the question, why am I making this training, right? Well, I want to put an end to the vicious cycle that so many of you guys are so familiar with. So tell me if this sounds familiar. Hire a marketing agency to start doing your ads. Everything's great. You're excited. The dopamine is riding high. And then things start off well. You know, leads start to come in. You're excited and you're thinking, wow, maybe I found the missing piece of my marketing strategy, right? Then all of a sudden the leads disappear. You're wondering after a couple weeks, all of a sudden the leads just start drying up and you're asking yourself what happened. And the agency doesn't really have an answer. They just say, I don't know, give me a minute, right? So they can figure it out. But as you and I both know, the agency struggles to recreate those results. And suddenly you're left at a crossroads, which is, do I keep going? Or do I maybe just hire a new agency? This is kind of like the grass is always greener syndrome, because you're always thinking that there's one more agency that maybe has the secret sauce. So you make the plunge, you hire them, but then guess what? Only to be disappointed again, and the vicious cycle repeats. So my question to you is, what if we could just skip the honeymoon phase altogether and just have a great marriage, aka have profitable ads that work forever? Well, if that sounds good to you, news, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. And the first point of contention is to understand every ad is composed of variables. A variable can be a thumbnail, which is the still image that you see before a video plays, for example. It can be the creative that you use, so in other words, the picture or video. It can be the hook, which usually refers to the first couple seconds of a video that grab your attention. It can be the headline, which is the main text that appears under an ad. It can be the ad copy, the overlay, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different variables. We're going to go into some of these in more detail, don't worry. But I just want you guys to understand that if you have a winning ad, it means that at least one of your variables is working. I'm going to say that again. If you have a winning ad, it means at least one of your variables is working. The question then becomes, how do I identify a winning concept and then iterate from there? So in order to isolate a winning concept, you must test one variable at a time. And this is very important. All right, one variable at a time. So let's look at some common tests of, what I just explained. So over here, we have 3 essentially identical ads. We have this first one over here, which is, a video of a sink cleaning. And if you look, everything between all 3 of these ads is identical, except for what we have here, which is the headline. Right, so it's that little piece of text under the ad. So the first headline reads, request a house cleaning quote in 20 seconds. This was our control, right? Now, if we make the first variation, we're gonna change this to something else. And if we make another variation, then we would change again that headline to something else. So everything else between the ad, between the video, the ad copy, the call to action button is the same, except for the headline between the 3. So this would be a headline test. Now here's an example of a creative test. So again, coming back to our control, we have this video of a sink cleaning, but now this one in the middle, we changed that to a bathroom shower door cleaning, and then this one on the right, which is just a still photo. But all of the other variables between the ad copy, the headline, the call to action button, again, we're staying consistent. We just want to test one variable at a time. This is a creative test, very common. Now let's look at an example of an ad copy test. So again, everything is identical, except for the ad copy, which is the body of text above the video or image. So in this case, we had still spending hours every week scrubbing away your family's mess. So this was our control. In this one, we're starting a new ad copy. Hey, New York homeowners looking to enjoy a sparkling clean home without any of the cleaning. And then this last one, which is more short and sweet. Right? So most people make the mistake of testing multiple variables at once And as a result, they never learn what was actually moving the needle. So this is what most people's tests looks like. If we come back to this control where we have the sink cleaning video, the still spending hours ad copy, the headline that reads request a house cleaning quote, right? Let's say that this ad was performing well, but then it fatigued and we're trying to recreate those results. What most people will do is they'll say, all right, you know what? I kind of like this bed photo. Let's change that out. And you know what? While we're at it, let's also change the ad copy. Let's try something new. And you know what? Actually, while we're there, let's also change the headline. I think it can be a little bit more relevant, right? Then they'll do this for several variations. You know, perhaps this is how you operate. Maybe you'll also launch a video and you'll think of another piece of ad copy that sounds good, right? So you'll call out the audience, have a little bit of scarcity, right? And you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll throw in an offer there, save 30%. And suddenly, before you know it, you have 6 or 7 different variables, which was really just supposed to only be one test. And now, even if, let's say, one of these ads does start working, like let's just pretend it's variation number 2 that starts getting your results. Well, how in the world are we ever supposed to know which one of those things was actually the winning concept? Answer is we don't, right? Because we changed 7 things all at once. So this is why it's so important to only focus on one variable at a time when you're doing these tests. So to kind of reiterate this magic formula, we're going to isolate a variable, we're going to test different angles within that variable. And by the way, some of the different angles that I like to test are either problem solution oriented, convenience related, or even just straight up offers. So we can talk more about that a little bit later. And then we're going to apply those winning angles that we found to previous ads to kind of re-spark them while having to do minimal effort from a production standpoint. I want to show you guys some more uncommon tests that you can leverage to really keep ads winning for as long as possible. So here's a little case study that we did with our client Angela, who you saw earlier in this video. And we were running this one bathroom cleaning ad and it was just absolutely crushing it for a while. And then we started getting frustrated because the results dried up, and we tried duplicating the ad to, just see if Facebook would let us squeeze out some more juice. But we just couldn't really get life out of it. So while trying to make minimal edits as possible, but keeping it as close to the original as possible, what we decided to do was just do what's called an overlay test. So now we launched variations, and the only thing we changed about this ad was just this blue text above over the video, as you can see. So it used to say, check out this bathroom cleaning, but then we tried different types of angles. And in this case, we found that this one, the hate cleaning, you'll love us, was actually a really good angle, and that one was the winner for her. So then we took that hate cleaning, you'll love us, and we iterated further. And we have used the same overlay on more videos. We've tested it in headlines. But in the case of you, let's just pretend you did a test like this. You can take that specific hate cleaning, you'll love us, ride that out for as long as possible. And then once that ad fatigues, well, guess what? There's a lot more things you can do with it. You could simply just change the color of this overlay. So maybe you change it from blue to red and relaunch that, see if you can squeeze more juice out of it. You could change the font, all right? You could change, instead of having title caps like we did, maybe try all caps or just lowercase. You can try different entrances or animations for how the overlay appears, right? So there's so many different things that you can do before you have to just, change the video completely. So here's another test. This is called an opener test. So essentially what happens is, if you guys are used to running video ads, you'll know that typically you'll have one video that's, let's say, between 15 to 30 seconds long. And then let's just pretend that video fatigues. Instead of having to replace the video entirely, you can just replace the opener, which is the first 1 to 3 seconds of that video, with a new clip, and then have the same base video be the same. Right? And that's the thing, is let's say you are running a 15-second video. How are you gonna know if it was that whole video that was resonating with your audience versus just the first couple seconds? Well, you don't really. So this is just a really efficient way of testing new angles with your audience. So we have in this case, this first opener, which was showing this bathroom steam cleaner, and then it goes into the actual steam cleaning, as you can see. And then we tested another opener where it was a shower glass door, and then again, back into the steam cleaning video. In this one, we have this dirty shower drain, and then, back into the floor steam cleaning. All of these actually performed well. It's really the secret to how we were able to 10x the life of just one video ad, essentially, just by adding several different openers before this main video. Now, another really nifty test is a thumbnail test. A lot of people don't know that you can do this, but you can actually custom upload specific thumbnails that appear before your video ad starts playing. This is surprisingly effective, right? Like, you wouldn't think that if an ad fatigues, just changing the thumbnail and relaunching would re-spark life into it. But we've seen it time and time again, it does. And the key with this is just think outside the box. All of your custom thumbnails don't have to be cleaning related. In fact, you can see there's a picture of this cat up here. We do have some before and afters of cleaning and pictures of, the workers that we've tested. Even obscure things like food or memes or whatever, just if you think it's creative and might capture someone's eyeball, it's worth a test. Hopefully you guys can see now that there's really endless possibilities to do with this, right? And just to give you guys some expectations, following the system really allows you guys to scale your ads to hundreds of dollars per day. Even if you're targeting a relatively small market, you can maintain cheap CPLs forever in your ad account and essentially never run out of ideas. Because the whole goal with this that I want you guys to really absorb is we're only changing one variable at a time and making small tweaks. And within those small tweaks, you can have 10, 20 different variations essentially and re-spark life into your fatigued ads that way. So there's really no more guessing checking. This is how I want you guys to get clarity on what works. And this is just a screenshot from one of our clients. We've spent about $25,000 using the system together. And when we started just under a year ago, as you can see, this was June 2023. Our cost per lead was, hovering just below $22. And then fast forward a year later, cost per lead down to $14, right? So most people experience the opposite. So it just goes to show that because we're following the system, we're essentially always showing our audience something new, even though those tweaks can be rather small, right? So refreshing your ads does not mean throwing the kitchen sink, as I just mentioned. Just understand that minor edits are always greater than major edits. All right, guys, that is it for this training. Hopefully you got a ton of value from this. And if you're ready to start confidently scaling your advertising spend and you would like help doing so, click the link in the bio, fill out a quick survey, and if we decide that you and your cleaning business may be a good fit for our marketing system, the next steps will be to schedule a call and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you found it helpful. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and I'll catch you guys for the next one.